Hey guys, peeps, welcome back to Snail TV. I couldn't wait. We got the booster and we're just gonna have to turbocharge it straight away. I was getting everything ready just to get it running. All I needed was the fuel pump. Then I thought, why just get a second-hand fuel pump when I can just get a Raceworks for actual less. The only thing is just different is then I need to get some fittings and stuff to make it all work. Then it comes down to getting a regulator as well, a holder, and yeah, and so on. So then it was about wiring it. Do you just wire it up to that? Do you put a relay in it? And then I would have had to wire it to a computer anyway later on. I'll just come into just easy, just doing it at the start, just getting it done over and done with. So I needed to pull all the fairings off as well. You guys seen it was dropped on the side a little bit. Everything's all fixable. Everything's all yeah, all looking pretty good. I do have a couple of spares as well. I just went out and brought another spare set of sides. So yeah, everything's all fixable. So what are we doing? Yeah, how big we're going and how much power we're going to make and all that, all to come. But so this morning I got a pretty decent deal on a 3576 turbocharger, dual ball bearing. So yeah, should make some decent power and come on pretty strong. Lot smaller housing, front housing than the go-kart, so it will spool a lot faster. Because it will be more of a daily bike, whereas that thing is just for more for the track. That's why I wanted that thing to come on a lot longer, take a lot longer for the lag, because any chance of getting traction. So yeah, what we've come up with is I've taken everything apart. I'll take you guys over to it in a second to show you what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. I don't want to show you everything. I do want to try a couple of things on this thing. And I'll tell you guys later if they worked or not. But yeah, so started off with the turbocharger. It is a teal rear, so it's a stainless steel rear into a V-band flange. Yeah, a lot better design with that, so I'm real happy getting that. The only reason why going a V-band rear was a T4 flange is so much bigger, and any more room at the front there is better than anything. So I really want to bring the turbocharger close as possible to the block as I can. And yeah, the only proper way to do it is actually a V-band rear, because they're a lot smaller design and yeah, easier manifold to make as well. So that should be sweet. Fuel pump, fuel reg, holder, fittings, you can all see it. It's all Raceworks fitting, guys. We've been talking to Raceworks as well, so they'll be getting on board very soon as well. So thanks very much to those guys. But I do get discounts off of people that I go to anyway. These are from Auto Pro. I do go see Salika Spares as well. Whoever's got what in stock and wherever I am. Some people aren't open Saturdays. Auto Pro is. And yeah, they're all nice people everywhere, so I go see who I can and they all help me out, so thanks very much to all those guys as well. Yeah, so coming on to the manifold size, so I'm still putting it's going to be using the stock header size I did on the go-kart, and it works fine. I can go that a little bit bigger as well, but I'm not planning on making massive horsepower for this thing. It could turn into that later on, guys, but I don't think so, because yeah, I've got other things that I'd rather do anyway. So it's still build once and once only as well, like I do everything, guys. As I said, I don't ever see myself changing it later on. This can make so much horsepower with the standard manifold anyway. All right, so I'll take you over here. I'll show what I've done so far and what I need to get and what we're going to be putting anywhere. So let's have a look. All right, guys, so hayabusa engine. All right, so that's how it fits. Okay, hayabusa VIN, everything's all sweet, ready to go. So you can see the Suzuki. Okay, now this is where we're at. That's the front of the block there, guys. All right, so we've got the exhaust ports here. and turbocharger is going to sit as far forward as possible. What did have this nasty thing, you guys know emissions, that's what this is for. All right, so what these are is they bend up and they go into the middle of these things, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that just bleeds off exhaust gases, so it can into the airbox, and then it actually breathes its own recycled air exhaust gases as well. It's just for the emissions. Runs off a vacuum port. No, it's not nothing special. It's not nothing electric or anything like that, like a new days car would be. But it's still something that we don't want, and we want all the exhaust gases we can get, guys. So that's been deleted. We only just got the vacuum hose to fill up there, but we'll go to something up there, the computer or something. And yeah, everything else has been taken off, so that's saved up a lot of room right here, guys. And then now we've got enough room there for the turbocharger. We've also got these bits where these oil's leaking everywhere. We've got these, this is for the oil cooler here, and oil cooler there as well. And we just need to re-tap these. We'll tap the centers and put a fitting in, -6 fitting in each. And we'll do an external oil cooler somewhere, guys. The first one, the one was actual, like right here. That's going to be in the way of the exhaust manifold there, and so we need a turbocharger is going to be mounted there, and we're going to go from there. So yeah, we'll once we've located the turbo first, then we'll work out where we want to run the cooler. So that's later on. I've gone ahead and done an oil pressure for an oil line for the turbocharger. So that's how we do it. So we just tee off of the oil pressure sensor there. Okay, that's just, if it doesn't see any pressure, it will light up on the dash, and then we're just teeing off of that, and that'll be for the oil pressure. All right, now for oil drain, guys, we're gonna have to, this has all been drained, that's why it's not pouring out with oil. Okay, and in the top here somewhere, we're going to have to drill a hole and weld a bung. Okay, I'll do it exactly the same as the Hayabusa. I reckon the go-kart, I reckon it's somewhere around here on this corner here, and that's going to be oil drain. And then we're going to make sure the turbocharger is, the bottom of the turbocharger is just above it. Okay, just so that we can get enough drain happening. Yeah, so that's good. That's all set, ready to go. Come up here, we've got the injectors off and everything's all clean. We just gave it a quick degrease as well. Had a couple little spots there, but nothing special. Took a cover off inside here. We're gonna have to make up a quick air box, plenum, whatever you're gonna call it, ready for boost. It'll be exactly the same as the one that we've got on the go-kart over there. Something like that, but this one here is going to have to come over, so it's going to be like a 4-into-1, and then yeah, coming over somewhere there. So we'll sort that out, and we'll get the boost pipe coming in from somewhere. Probably coming in from one of these here, I reckon. All right, so then next we're going to have to do a computer, and so on. So, but I really want to get the turbocharger all sorted out. Let's have a look how this thing's going to look. So, all right, so somewhere about like that. All right, so if we can hold it in here like that, boys. All right, so pretty close to the block. 4-into-1 right there. Just got to make enough room for a gate to come off of it. Exhaust is just going to come out the side here a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to have a side exhaust. I just want to have a little side exit. And also the gate coming out of here as well. So after the turbocharger's mounted, guys, then that's when we're going to be going locating that oil cooler. But really impressed. So yeah, got a couple of things to do. Well, let's get this turbo up. Let's cut a couple of runners here, and let's start mounting this turbocharger. Stop. All right, guys, got to level up. So a little bit more oil's got to come out from a couple of more different places. But our first things first is to drop the sump, and so we can weld up a fitting on there. Let's get all the fittings all out the way so we can other things don't get into trouble of where we are locating it. So yeah, let's take that off, let's clean it up, let's see how bad the bottom of the sump looks, and let's weld the fitting on there. Stop. Alright peeps, well that's going to conclude tonight. I've got all the fittings done on the sump, oil feed and oil drain, sorry, on the sump, oil feed on the block, oil feed and drain for the oil coolers done as well, and also then we've made up the manifold as well. So still need a gate, so external gate, I've got to organise that during the week as well. But now it's actually up for the fuel system as well. So next one we're going to tackle up all the fuel system, do a couple of things to the suspension as well. I want to do a couple of things there. and also yeah, start doing the exhaust coming out the side. I've got to get the actual turbocharger didn't come with the V-band for the manifold, the stainless steel exhaust housing there. Yeah, so I've just got to get a flange for that, a V-band flange for that, and also yeah, we can start yeah, start making up the intake pipe as well. So not sure if I'm going to be doing an intercooler, guys, because my thing was to just run it on pure methanol, but yeah, I'm not sure if I should or not. So it's just that there's just so much more work involved doing an intercooler and trying to find something a lot smaller. So I might just quickly just knock up the nothing for now and keep it safe boost, and then later on look at doing a water cooler on the thing somewhere. Yeah, doing a water cooler and all that just adds so much more complex of everything. You've seen how hard, well, how much more time it took on the other bike and everything else, or doing an air-to-air cooler on the front as well. But I think I should be right just doing it that way. So yeah, we're gonna continue it on. I'll finish this episode off, and next one's going to be fuel system. I've drained the tank. I have yeah, filled it up with water and drained it a couple of times. So yeah, just need to weld a couple of fittings on there so we can yeah, get a feed coming off of it and a return as well. Yeah, and that's where we're up to. So I've got the reg there, I've got the fuel pump. Also found an awesome location where I can put the ECU as well, because I'm just going to piggyback into the ECU, the old one, just so that I've still got all the revs, all the tacho and everything working as well. So I'll keep that one as in there, and that can do all the vitals. And then we'll just piggyback off of that, just so then we can run the fuel and ignition, and the external fuel pump, and anything else we want to run as well later on. So thermofan I'll probably let the other ECU control for now. But yeah, that's where we're up to, guys. So got a couple more things to get still, but I think we should be, you know, a couple of weeks this thing should be rocking and rolling. So yeah, loving it. As I said, just the exhaust as well there, with the external gate coming out the side there. That's all I want. I don't want a full exhaust or anything like that. These things are just wide enough without any extra things on them. So I'll just quickly take you for a little look around so you can have a look of what I've done so far. And then, yeah, I'll let you know. All right, peeps, I got these all plugged in because I've got low battery at the moment. But oh, as you can see from the 4-into 1, 2-inch, 2.5-inch flange there. And external gate will just come off the side as well, so we've still got to do that. I had to do a last cut here, a last resort. This one here wasn't going in, it was going to be a bit too tight, so I had to cut it quickly and weld it when it was actually on there. So yeah, that's where the turbo is going to be sitting anyway. Alright, and on the other side, I'll show you how much clearance we've got. Alright, give it a spin. Alright, well. Alright, so we've got plenty of clearance there. I'm pretty much going to elbow it, coming out, going down here, coming up, and yeah, I'm making up a air, whatever you call it, and little air box thing, you know, so it can go into. Alright, so fuel pump. I'm going to take the air breather off, put a bigger breather on here, what they like, and I'm going to make up a just a plate coming off of it so we can attach the fuel pump coming off of it, just like that, pretty simple. Okay, and then the fuel reg, probably going to just do a couple of fittings in the side there, and yeah, and straight like that, something like that. Alright, I got this all off so the sender still goes straight back on and will get plugged back in, and that there is the actual bit where it actually had like a filter in there as well, So I'm pretty much going to, I'll probably get rid of all this foam because it's just filled with water at the moment. I'll just fill that up and drill 2 new holes on either side. So then a feed, -8 feed and a -6 return pushing in. So just got to figure out what a couple of these lines are for. So with a couple of these lines, I think they are for the emissions as well. So yeah, just got to figure out where they were and block them off if I need it, or bypass them or whatever. All right, so pushing that down, guys. You can see all the water running off now. All right, ECU is here. All right, battery ECU, that's your standard ECU. So as I said, we are keeping that here. That's going to be running all the vitals. All right, so rev gauge, speedometer, and fuel and temperature as well. Indicators and stuff will come off the side here and whatnot, but you know, so we keep everything. It's not going to be a full wire like the Busa go-kart over there. All right, so we need a location where we can put the ECU, and I'm thinking just in the little storage compartment at the back. Oh, if I can hold it like that. All right, and I reckon in here, I'm just going to knock these tabs off, and I reckon the ECU would go on that really, really nicely. And then we can just make up a tiny loom going to here, and a tiny loom going to the front there, where we need to go to only for the fuel pump for now. So I want to directly control that, so yeah, we don't get any mishaps through the ECU, that's all. And put a relay in there as well for it. Yeah, so we're just going to have to pin out it and get a pin out on it, yeah, we'll make up just a small little loom, and we'll get to that ECU. There's not many wires. As I was saying, the 4 coils, and also 4 igniters, and the 4 injectors as well. So simple as that, power and earth, and then it will need to be crank sensor, cam sensor, then where is it, if I can find it, the coolant temp sensor is here somewhere. It's off the side here somewhere. Up there it is there, coolant temp sensor, and also I think that's about it. All right, so yeah, after they're all hooked up, guys, we can then yeah, start her up with the new ECU. So that's what we're up to, guys. So that is a Hayabusa. They're a ITB, so 4 throttle bodies. All right, we are just got the injectors off at the moment, and I'm just welding on a couple of fittings on there for now. And yeah, just a couple other things. So we'll get cracking on this on the next episode, guys. Get all this mounted up, get these drilled and also fitted, and then all we're going to do is pretty much just running a line up, a -8 line, and then when it comes down, it will hopefully just curl up, just a small little neat curl there, and the return as well off of the reg. So yeah, that's where we are up to. So yeah, guys, everything else is looking pretty good. Pretty happy with how everything's turned out. As we were saying, that all the hard parts are done. So a turbocharged motor just needs, the hardest part is to take the sump off, weld a fitting or drill and tap a fitting in there, and an oil feed from somewhere. Just put a T in from an oil pressure switch or sensor. Yeah, and the only thing that we needed to do differently on this one was because the oil cooler does go there right at the front. And the lines are just not going to happen because they got certain measured lines, and they're all different. We'll just put a couple of -6s on, so then we can put the cooler wherever we wanted to. Not sure if it can actually go into the same place. I know the lines are not going to work. That's why we had to do this. But yeah, we'll see if it can go into the standard location. But it doesn't matter if it's going to or not. It doesn't matter. So yeah, we'll find a place where we can put that as well. So yeah guys, that's going to sum it up. So thanks very much for liking and subscribing guys. I'm waiting on a lot of parts at the moment coming in, so things have been just a tad slow, so that's what I thought I'll do this. And also getting these boosters was a bit of a money pit. So yeah, we've sold the other one, that's all gone. I've just got a couple of parts laying around that I'm going to change onto this later on. The rear rim got to change as well. The front one's been changed, so this is a rolling bike now, so that's all good. Front forks turned out to be alright, so that's a good thing. And only a couple of things to change on this thing. So yeah, it's almost a running bike, well, running turbocharged bike. So only a couple more things left to do. And this thing will be going in no time. So on that note guys, thank you very much for liking and subscribing. If you haven't, please go do so and let everyone know if you can, let more people know. But yeah, we'll see you next episode. See you peeps.